We could say fascism, Minnesota style, is a way of organizing school children in which a school district is ruled by special interest groups such as the LGBT groups and the Minnesota Democrats, in which school children and parents are not allowed to disagree with the special interests such as LGBT groups and the Minnesota Democrats.
And you have groups that are principally concerned with gender identity and gender expression. A DFL coalition bill that has really not very much at all to do with growing up in Minnesota.
Premise that this bill is a whole lot more about a social agenda than it is about preventing bullying. Your school district can regulate your speech of your child. We're going to have a chilling effect on the religious freedoms and speech in schools because an advancement of a social agenda that may go against your traditional religious values.
The Chick-fil-A Chief Operating Officer, Dan Cathy, made a public comment in June 2012 opposing same-sex marriage. And bam! The LGBT rights activists went crazy and called for protests and boycotts of the chain. Duck Dynasty, Phil, he made a comment about marriage, and he was harassed, and he was temporarily suspended from the television show Duck Dynasty. In 2008, Brandon Ike donated $1,000 to Proposition 8, and somehow recently that donation became public. As a result, the LGBT lobby went crazy, and bam, Mr. Ike was forced out of his job as CEO of Mozilla Firefox, a company that he co-founded. Why am I bringing these situations up? What could these stories have anything to do with HF 826? Well, parents, it is my opinion that if your children do not conform to the society's beliefs and to the LGBT community, that your child may not be able to participate in after-school activities. They may end up being benched, unable to play sports, possibly not get into college, because of the beliefs that your children and you hold as a family. HF 826 is simply another attack on the Bible and conservative Christians. So HF 826 is a bill to indoctrinate our children so that they may experience real life with however it is that Minnesota Democrats think it will be and how the LGBT community wants it to be. Thank you.
The ideological forces that are pushing this anti-bullying bill, ironically enough, are engaging in massive amounts of bullying themselves. How about that? All across the country, using intimidation, browbeating, they're chilling free speech and suppressing debate. In just the past couple years, we witnessed the bullying of the CEO of Target Corporation, the CEO of Starbucks, Dan Cathy from Chick-fil-A, Carrie Prejean, Miss America. Who can forget Phil Robinson from Duck Dynasty, who actually had his TV show canceled by this kind of bullying? And most lately, Brandon Ike from Mozilla Firefox, bullied right out of his job, right out of his position, by the same ideology that's demanding tolerance and acceptance in the form of this bullying bill.
Sexual orientation and gender identity and expression. And here's where I feel that we're going to see a definite chilling effect on religious expression in schools. For you see, rightly so, in fact, two previous speakers have spoke to the bullying of people in America over issues of gay rights.
We see that in there they define sexual orientation, including gender identity, and a host of other issues. Well, organizations like Outfront Minnesota, Gleason, will be bringing the curriculum into the public school.
This bill really has a lot less to do with bullying than it does about advancing a social agenda of a radical special interest group, Outfront Minnesota. They were the only group that came to my office to advocate for this bill.